The world spun, a kaleidoscope of jagged colors and screaming sounds. One moment, I was me, Nick, the fox with a plan, the hustler with a heart of gold, or at least gold-plated. The next, I was something else, something identical. The serum, a tiny dart filled with midnight blue liquid, had found its mark. Maya Sheep, her woolly face a mask of twisted triumph, had watched as my own mind turned against me. The problem wasn't just that I was losing control. It was that a part of me, a dark, ancient part, was enjoying it. The city lights blurred into predatory eyes. The honking cars became the roars of unseen beasts, and every scent was a challenge or a threat. My own paws, the ones I used to count my daily earnings, now felt like they belonged to a stranger. Tipped with claws I suddenly knew how to use with terrifying efficiency. I needed to fight it, to hold on to the fox who traded snark for popsicles, but the tide was too strong. The solution, if there was one, was miles away, locked behind a pair of earnest, violet eyes. Judy. The thought of her was a pinprick of light in the encroaching darkness. I had to get to her, or, more accurately, she had to get to me. But as the feral haze thickened, another, more terrifying thought pushed its way through. What if, by the time she found me, the Nick she knew was already gone? The snarl ripped from my throat before I could even process the thought. It was guttural, raw, an echo of the Wilde my ancestors had left behind centuries ago. I lunged, not at Maya Sheep, but at the nearest solid object, a reinforced glass wall overlooking the city's underbelly. The impact shuddered through my bones, but the glass held, showing me a monster's reflection. Eyes wide and bloodshot, fur standing on end, teeth bared in a permanent grimace. That wasn't me. It couldn't be. The problem was that the reflection felt more real than the sliver of consciousness cowering inside. Every instinct screamed to break, to tear, to rend. The city wasn't a home. It was a hunting ground. The sheep wasn't a politician. She was prey, my own partner. My mind shied away from the thought, unable to label her in this new brutal vocabulary. A desperate, fleeting solution surfaced. Pain. If I could feel something other than this boiling rage, maybe I could anchor myself. I slammed my head against the glass, once, twice. A sharp, clear ache cut through the fog. It was working. For a second I saw my own reflection again. Not the monsters, but the effort was monumental, and the feral wave was relentless, surging back stronger than before, pushing me forward into the abyss, leaving me with the horrifying realization that my own attempts to stay sane were only making the inevitable fall that much faster. Darkness, then, a voice, faint, distant, like a radio signal from a forgotten world. Nick, Nick, hold on. The sound was a lifeline. But the problem was, I couldn't grab it. My body was no longer mine to command. It was moving on its own, a puppet on the strings of the serum, stalking through the damp, echoing corridors of the abandoned subway station Maya Sheep had used as her lab. The air was thick with the smell of rust and damp earth, a scent that my heightened senses drank in, mapping the territory. I could hear the scuttling of rats, the drip of water, the frantic thumping heartbeat of something small and terrified nearby. Prey. My head snapped in the direction of the sound. It was Judy. Her silhouette was framed in the dim light of a service tunnel. Her ears perked, her face a mask of fear and determination. The sight of her should have been a comfort, a solution. But the serum twisted it, recasting her not as a friend, but as the ultimate hunt. A tiny, defiant rabbit, standing in the path of a predator. A part of me screamed, a silent, helpless wail from the prison of my own skull. The rest of me coiled, muscles tensing for the pounce. The story pushing forward into its most dreaded chapter, the hunter and the hunted, with the prize being my own soul. Nick, it's me, it's Judy. Fight it. Her voice was stronger now, closer. She wasn't running, of course, she wasn't. That stubborn, infuriatingly brave rabbit never ran when she should. The problem was that her bravery was like a red flag to the bull raging inside me. The predator in my blood saw her stance not as courage, but as a challenge. My claws unsheathed, scraping against the grimy concrete floor. I took a step forward, a low growl rumbling in my chest. I could smell her fear, a sharp electric scent that made my mouth water. But underneath it, there was something else. Carrots. The faint, sweet smell of the farm she came from. The memory it triggered was a jolt. a flash of a sunny afternoon, of her telling a dumb joke, of me laughing so hard a popsicle melted down my arm. It was a momentary solution, a crack in the feral facade. For a split second, my vision cleared. I saw her, my partner, my friend, her face pale, her hand hovering over her hip, near her tranq gun. The choice was hers to make, and I knew what she had to do. The monster inside me knew it too. As I lunged, not with the intent to harm, but with a desperate, unspoken plea for her to stop me. The story hurtled forward, our fates hanging on the aim of a tiny bunny cop. The impact never came. Instead of the sting of a tranquilizer dart, I felt her arms wrap around my neck. It was a move of such insane, reckless trust that it short-circuited the rage. The problem was, my body was still on autopilot. My jaws snapped shut, inches from her throat. The click of my teeth, echoing in the sudden silence. I could feel her flinch, her heart hammering against my chest like a drum solo. But she didn't let go. She held on tighter, burying her face in my fur. "I know you're in there, you dumb fox," she whispered, her voice trembling but firm. "I'm not leaving you." Her words, her scent, her unwavering faith, it was the solution I hadn't been able to find on my own. It was an anchor, heavy and solid, in the stormy sea of my mind. The primal rage, which had been an all-consuming fire, was suddenly doused, leaving behind a thick, choking smoke of confusion and exhaustion. I could feel the serum fighting back, trying to reignite the hate, but her presence was a shield. The beast receded, snarling, back into the dark corners of my consciousness. My muscles unlocked, my claws retracted, and I sagged against her, the full weight of what I'd almost done crashing down on me, pushing our story past the brink of disaster and into the fragile, uncertain light of rescue. My knees gave out. I collapsed, pulling Judy down with me onto the cold, damp floor. The world was still tilted, the sounds still too loud, but they were my sounds again, my world. The problem was the aftershock. A tremor ran through me, a violent, uncontrollable shudder, as the last dregs of the serum warred with my returning senses. I could see the image of my monstrous reflection burned onto the back of my eyelids, hear the echo of my own snarl. The shame was a physical weight, crushing my chest, making it hard to breathe. The words wouldn't come out. I had almost hurt her. I had wanted to. Judy just held me, her small frame a bastion against the tide of my "It wasn't you, Nick," she said softly, her voice the only thing that felt real. That was the serum. That was Sheep's monster, not mine. Her solution was simple. Absolution. It wasn't forgiveness, because in her eyes, there was nothing to forgive. It was a simple statement of fact, a truth she held onto so tightly that I had no choice but to believe it too. Slowly, the shaking subsided. I could feel my own heartbeat again, steady and calm, syncing with hers. With her help, I pushed myself into a sitting position, the first conscious move I'd made in what felt like a lifetime. The story was moving on, not because the danger was over, but because, for the first time since the dart hit, we were finally, truly, facing it together.